Hey guys, this is the second part of the Southern Funeral Home in St. Louis, Missouri. This building no longer stands like this as of this week. They were in the process of tearing out the inside of the basement. And I saw a photograph.
Dude, for me as a videographer, is an avid videographer. Look, that building was cool, dude.
So a friend sent me
good light, dude.
A friend sent me a photograph, or sent a photograph to Andrew of this building from several days ago, and the whole chapel was bulldozed. So I'm naming the location, but again, it's no longer here. So this is probably, I would imagine, the last video from the inside. By the way, these are photographs that Andrew took. You can find these awesome photos at Instagram. He takes beautiful pictures of the inside. Well, inside and outside, I don't know what I'm talking about. But anyways, he takes beautiful photographs. And you really ought to go check out his Instagram pages, Focus Grim and 30 Grain. Those photographs also are a little bit of a recap because you can see the chapel. And the chapel is in the first part of this video, so if you haven't seen the first part, go back and watch that. The first part of this video is definitely my favorite of the two. However, there's some cool stuff in here, and I know a lot of you guys wouldn't have wanted to miss out on just seeing what the rest of the building held. So good advertisement for ADT. I keep showing their security boxes in these buildings that are all ripped up, but in fairness, I guess the power was probably off. But they'd probably love me to make a montage of those for a commercial, an ADT commercial. Fast forward through all the torn up buildings and show their ripped up security system. What do people have against urinals? I hate those kind of urinals. If you don't pee into those right, the pee will splash on your shoes. So pee against the back wall of those urinals. I think that's the trick. That reminds me of the toilet paper roll holder in my house. My house was built in 1948. Like the print on that couch. Nice wingback chair. So later on in this video, I'll go back into that front office and take a look around at things, some of the papers. Also, this funeral home, the Southern Funeral Home, was put into use in 1929, and I believe that this business was already established and was at one point located in some other building. But anyways, it was established probably in the early 1900s, moved into this building in 1929. There's a little look at the chapel, but you really ought to see the front of it. If you haven't seen the first video, just go back and watch that first. So this funeral home was probably they believe it was the first building built in St. Louis with the express purpose of being a funeral home. There's also an apartment I'll show later on in the video that's upstairs. It was built so that the funeral director and his family could live in the apartment above the funeral home. So there's another water fountain in the wall. I like the tile flooring. This would have been a women's bathroom. At first I thought that machine might be for adult novelties. Is that a good deal? 10 cents for a... Now look, it says stay free, but look at that old ad, Modest, because of the Whisper soft cover fabric. I should have looked that up and looked for a picture of that. Is that an old pad brand? Pad brand? And why do I care? Pink toilet. I'm not sure why I always show toilet holes. I always seem to want to stick my camera in the toilet and show the hole. So I'm going down into the basement here. There's a couple cool things that I find in the basement, but I really wish I would have been in this building at some earlier date, because in the first video I showed you there was an elevator that was large enough to put a casket in very deep, and they used it to transport caskets up from the basement, and it was right off of the chapel area and some of the viewing rooms. And I'm positive. Tell me if you see any rooms or details that look like they would have done embalming work in them. But most of the basement was stripped out. It was a big area with different rooms. But you'll see some writing on the walls that says take all wood out. So, this is, I guess, part of the process of demolishing this building. And luckily in the first video, most of the details were left in the upstairs, but the basement had been pretty stripped out, so I tried to cut it short, but so down here, this room looks like it had a fireplace, and there was a restroom. How did that happen? Get wood. Demo wood. There's that big depressed area. But yeah, you can see most of this has been torn and demoed already. Another bathroom. There's a lot of, or I don't know if it's a bathroom, there's a sink, but there's some tile that was on these floors. There's another building that looked like it would have been cool to see. Looked like kind of Art Deco out here on the other side. I don't think it had anything at all to do with the funeral home, but it looks like they might be rehabbing it. I don't know. It really wasn't worth filming because everything had been torn out of it, and you can see there's piles of bricks, so I assume that another building had been taken down or something. So anyways, stick with the video though, because we're going to see some more cool stuff. Found these matchbooks that had 2 funeral chapels on them. That's the Southern Funeral Home on that side, and has the address on Grand Boulevard, St. Louis, Missouri. Also, I should go grab it, but I have one of these matchbooks, and inside the matchbook cover it says that these matches were made in St. Louis, Missouri, and I don't know for sure, but I doubt that match company's still there. Yes, the building got demoed like a day or two later. I found probably 15 matchbooks. I found one that was in pristine condition and stuck it in a Ziploc bag and kept it. So it is what it is. If you have something to say about that, I really don't care. Something we never do. You know, like there was a candle holder that goes on a wall, and, you know, architectural things or pieces of furniture, whatever. other stuff, you know, we never touched. That was like the one and only thing, but I thought it was cool, the matchbook with the picture and info. Really cool wood around that window. So now we're headed up to the apartment area where the funeral director and his family would have lived. Also, this building is rumored to be haunted, and people say that they used to see a little girl standing in the window upstairs, maybe the funeral director's daughter. Who knows? No clue. Also, I read some articles online, talked about this in the first video, where an urbexer had said when the power was still on near that the lights had flashed on and off on their own, and he had some paranormal experiences. I had none. I think, though, Andrew said he felt like he was hearing weird noises when I left him alone in the chapel and some of the areas he was hearing things. I wish you guys need to comment and tell him that he needs to be on the narration with me so that you can hear things from his perspective, because we're two different people. And sometimes I like to get his reaction to things, because he gets pretty amped up. He gets pretty excited about things. Hate those paintings on the walls. Anytime I usually see paintings on walls like that, they look like arts and crafty, you know. If I probably wouldn't, you know, I'd just have my paintings framed, but if I wanted to have somebody paint things on the walls, I'd probably get a fine artist, somebody from an art school or something. But that's just me, no offense if you have that stuff. Just because I think something doesn't make it right, you know.
No, I mean, maybe if you walk out there, but not really. I mean, I didn't go all the way out for a reason, because it wasn't that cool.
You can see the Spanish tile roof. Also, I love that window, and I like that wallpaper a lot with the gold on it. It was pretty killer. Like the radiator. I like everything. I like you. I like this video. Well, that doesn't work. Yeah, genius, it doesn't open. Look at me struggling, I gave up.
So there's a book about cannon. You made it? Well, look. Well, I don't care, I'm getting ready to leave. I'm pissed off. Me too, this thing keeps messing up. Why do you say that?
Thank you. Please make sure and hit the like button. Please share, comment. I appreciate all your support. Special thanks to my Patreon supporters. As I mentioned in the last video, I'm probably going on the road next week to film several big locations in a bordering state, and that's made possible by Patreon supporters, but also people that, you know, take time to let some of the ads play so I can, you know, every little bit helps me continue to do this and put gas in and wear respirators. So, and there's a photograph Andrew took of the office. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. And don't do anything I wouldn't do.